All right, some of these are from Libby and some of these are from Fry. Now we'll start with this man up here. If the cameraman will focus in, this is an elderly gentleman. He's blowing a blowpipe here. Obviously he wouldn't be blowing a ponnell rod because it's not hollow. And from the way his cheeks are puffed out, he's blowing a pretty good sized piece, and he looks like a seasoned veteran. This man is sitting at his bench. You can see part of the bench here. Here is his ponnell rod. He's rolling the piece back and forth. And if you look real carefully and we zero in, you can see the outside edge here of a console bowl. And it appears that the foot has already been put on and it's fastened on the ponnell rod. And with these types of wooden tools, he can roll this piece back and forth, and keep that tool on there so that the edge is perfectly level and smooth and round, and it's exactly perfect when he turns it over to the carry-in boy to take to the annealing oven. Now I'd like to move down to the center picture, and one of the things that's interesting in this picture, you can see the oven. This is the furnace, and in here is a door. These are from the Fry plant, and there are 18 doors like this, and inside each of those doors in this enormous oven are various degrees of molten metal that makes up the glass formula. Here we have the pipes going overhead that bring in the tremendous amount of air from the outside to keep this furnace rolling at 2400 degrees if it's coal, or 2800 degrees if it's natural gas. These men are sitting at their benches. We have some ponnell rods sitting here in a barrel, and now I would like to, and incidentally, let me just mention, there's no air conditioning in these factories, and you can see here as we come in close on this oven, those are bricks, and if you can visualize 2800 degrees inside on the other side of those bricks, it's extremely uncomfortable in here. And yet these people, very few of them have short sleeves on. They have their collars all buttoned up. A lot of them have on hats, and you just wonder how they stand it. Now I want to spend a little bit of time on the bottom picture, if the cameraman will focus in on that. Here we have the best picture of all of the glass blower at his bench. Here he is at his bench. You see these long arms. There are little stops on each end so that he can't roll the piece off of there if he got carried away. And you can see this is still a blowpipe because it's hollow on that end. And there's a piece down here that he is shaping. Okay, now back in the back we have some other people, and some of these would be servitors. There's a young boy there who is probably an apprentice, and he's a carry-in boy, and they started the apprentice program when they graduated from the 8th grade, and they normally worked as an apprentice for 7 years. Okay, and then some of these more senior looking people. We work our way over here. This guy I haven't figured out. He's obviously appears to be a paraplegic and has a giant mustache, so he must be important. But the person right behind him is the one I want you to concentrate on for a moment. If we can zero in on this man that's standing on this frame, blowing in a blowpipe straight down. Now for purposes of our description, I am wanting to explain to you that we are going to be, when we refer to blown blanks, we are referring to two types of blown blanks. We have the freehand blown blank that this man is doing, where he shapes it himself. This man is also working on a blown blank, and the blown blank he is doing is down inside a bucket. This is a bucket, a mold of, say, let's just for example, the company's berry bowls. And have you ever wondered how a company can turn out 10,000 berry bowls and they're all exactly alike? Well, this is how they do it. They blow it into a mold of that berry bowl. Now, if the gatherer has done his job and he presented this blower with the exact right amount of glass for that berry bowl, the man stands up on the frame, blows it down, and this bucket with this mold is floating in water, so it's not going to jar anything. And that man blows the air in there, he spins it, so centrifugal force forces the glass out against the edges of this berry bowl, and it forms it just perfect. Now, if he has spun it wrong or something has gone haywire, you have perhaps seen pieces of bowl perhaps where one side is thicker than another. We run across these now and then, and that's what happened. And if it's too thin or too thick, then it's also one of the things that causes it to be rejected by the plant. So we have two types of blowing, and here is the situation. It is both of them are blown blanks because the real key word is blown. The only thing to touch the inside of either of these types of blown blanks is the breath of the blower. Later on, we will talk about figured blanks, and when they blow those molds, then there is a figure on the inside of that piece that changes its refractiveness. However, in this case, both of these are blown blanks, and I do want to understand you to understand that.